dig in and fight and scrap sometimes to get over the line. It's going to be about his heart. String gone for Anduhar. Well, be the set gone soon. Just maybe a bit of movement in the crowd. Maybe it was a duff ball. Either way, it will be a new racket, new strings for the Spaniard. He's coming out to face 2 set points.
Falling off of that backhand. Was team just unable to get set the ball. The return of serve, Anduhar is doing a good job of taking it early and getting it back to team's end of the court quickly. Not so much on that one.
The topsy-turvy set goes the way of Dominic Thiem. He's never lost in the first round at 롤랑가로스. And the Austrian is a set away from keeping that record going. Takes the second set, 7-5.
So Dominic Thiem then going comfortably with a 2-sets-to-love lead. And just at this end of this second set, let's bring you up to date with some more results from around the grounds here on day 1 of 롤랑가로스 2021. Well, Henri Laaksonen, a Swiss qualifier, ranked 150 in the world, is through to the second round. He came through in 4 sets against Yannick Hoffmann of Germany, 6-1, 6-3, 4-6, and then 6-2.
Roll 14.
On court 14, the Kazakhstan 21st seed Elena Rybakina, comfortable winner against Elsa Yakumo of France, French wildcard, 6-4 and then 6-1 in the second. Rybakina going through in an hour and 12 minutes.
Je, serve match, Rybakina. 2 manches à 0, 6-4, 6-1.
Women's 31st seed, Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova. Again, a comfortable victory for her today, beating the USA's Christina McHale, 6-4 in the first, and then bageling her in the second. A really good start for Pavlyuchenkova in these championships.
6-4, 6-0.
Batista good in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, switch.
And the men's 11th seed from Spain, Roberto Bautista Agut, twice through to the 4th round here, made the 3rd round here last year. Always hoped that he might just do a little bit better, very at home on the clay. He came through in 3 sets against Mario Vieira Martinez, a fellow Spaniard, but a qualifier. 6-4, 6-4, 6-2, and Bautista Agut will meet Henri Laaksonen of Switzerland in round 2. Let's head back to the Philippe Chatrier court. They've got the hoses out, just damping down the dust in this dry weather. Any breeze can sort of kick the dust up. So they're just watering it down. Dominic Thiem here against Pablo Anduhar. Thiem 2-sets-to-love to the good. And really looking to regain some form after a slightly shaky clay court season this year for Dominic Thiem. Twice a runner-up here, of course, against Rafael Nadal both times, 2018, 2019, and really looking to re-establish that kind of form here. So let's return to our match commentators, Pete Hodges and Mark Woodford.
Troisième manche, au service, Andorra.
So An드하르 to start set 3. Worth an effort from team.
15-0.
Start this third set, no doubt, for An드하르, particularly the manner that he lost that second set. We've seen him bounce back from disappointment a couple of times already in this encounter.
Left, second service.
Able to come through the game. First service game for An드하르. Knows it's a long way back. But the first step in what could be a marathon has been made. Long way back, particularly in this heat. 25, 26 degrees Celsius. You certainly need to bring the caps and the sunglasses and the sunscreen. In terms of his record at coming back from 2 sets to love down, he's never done it before, Pablo Andujar. Has won five setters throughout his career. Foot speed and then the control. The racket head as well. Terrific on the world number 68. A little bit telegraphed that the drop shot. Difficult as well to play it that well when he's contacted the ball above shoulder height there, team.
Answer. Forehand from Andujar. Using the angle, looking across the ball, dragging team off the court. Certainly not falling away, is he?
40.
Pretty well behind the first serve today, team. 76% of the points when he has found the first serve. First serve percentage around 67%. Those sort of numbers I think he'd be pretty happy with. Well there, so from 15-30 down. Teams on the scoreboard in this third set.
Cancel 0.
Shot working well again. Not really checked in the clay. There's another half volley, this time off the backhand side. As you can see, Andrade struggling with the wind. It's a difficult match to assess, isn't it, Mark? Because we know that the team at the moment is a little undercooked. In terms of where he'd like his level to be, and you throw in the awkward conditions of the wind, and it's tough to gauge how much the wind is affecting the play.
Yeah, it's like trying to find your form, isn't it? And then you're competing against a quality opponent, and then you've got the elements that are adding to the confusion.
40-15.
Oh, it's a beauty of a backhand. Couldn't have hit it any sweeter.
Down on the top.
Again, it's these points, we're getting glimpses of it, where he's playing with a purpose. He's getting enough rotation on the ball, there's enough sting on it, looking for that shorter reply from An드하르, which doesn't come because ultimately he finds the open court for the winner.
There is the racket head speed for the forehand. Stunning tennis again from Dominik.
And it's not an easy one either, Pete, because again, he's having to deal with the elements. The ball is being moved around thanks to the wind. There's not a lot of pace on it. It's mid-court, it's dropping below the level of the net. High quality winning forehand from Team.
Overcooked that forehand, Anduhar. This has been the side that he's really struggled with in recent times. Trying to get behind this standard. They want to see more of his encounter. He is struggling somewhat. Great point for the 4th seed.
Égalité. Avantage Anduhar.
He's missed it. I think a positive point from Anduhar, and this time he's able to reel through the game. A look of relief and a little clenched fist. 2-1 third set.
1 and take a break. Ten seconds. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're back.
Dug in there. Anduhar to come through that game. Easily could have been 2 sets to love down and a breakdown. It's already a mountain to climb, as I say. Never come 2 sets to love down in a match before. It's the side that he was serving at that he has struggled from recently. Anduhar. Front foot tennis from Team.
15.
overriding feeling if he does get through this will be relief, but so it'll be a little bit of a confidence boost. Another match win under his belt. Stepping away from the sport for a couple of months after loss to Lloyd Harris in Dubai. Around the side of the ball to kick away from Anduhar. Kick serve, that was so short in the service box, and Anduhar just pushed so far off the court. Team once again able to back it up.
Je team. 2 jeux partout.
2-all. Change of string tension, no doubt, for team. Fine winner.
Yes, sir.
Return nice and early. He has generally been quite far up the court for that return. We've seen him sat very deep in the past, team. Not it's something he's been working on. I feel his shots don't have the punch they used to have. Why maybe tied it to the baseline.
Yeah, I feel like this is a chance for him to actually get a little closer to the baseline to return Anduhar's serve. The Spaniards' pace of first serve, second serve is not something that is going to be too overwhelming, too difficult for him to handle.
That's terrific tennis from Anduhar.
It's like a dart, isn't it, to some of these approach shots by Anduhar. Not as much topspin. He gets into healthy position. Have a look where he finishes there after that volley. Just a couple of feet away from the net.
It's a confident service hold from the Spaniard, who continues to show plenty of fight here. Himself back in front on serve in this third set. Leads by 3 games to 2.
And 0.
Anduhar still going ahead with a little extra intake of trying to digest some energy food, hoping for a little burst here midway through set number 3.
He's also got a good fun memories. Rollangaro's junior doubles champion.
Nice.
Marcel Granollers back in 2004. So
Granola's still out there playing as well.
Yeah.
The highest ranked doubles player on the Spanish rankings.
Yeah. So
in doubles.
Hello, please.
10
I'm
seconds.
sure every time he's come back here, it must be nice, that feeling.
5,
Roam
4,
the grounds
3,
of previous successes.
1. And we're back.
One of 10 Spanish players inside the top 100. He's done awfully well. We mentioned that the shoulder surgeries, elbow surgeries that he's endured, 3 of them in his career, and has worked his ranking back inside the top 70 players, has Pablo Anduhar. Question for you, Pete, maybe I'll throw at you, is how well do you think Spanish tennis is going?
Well, you've got a couple of very good young guys coming through, Alcaraz in particular.
Yeah.
But there has been a gap, hasn't there, in terms of the real top tier.
They've all been living in the shadow
Yeah.
of Rafa, and that brings attention to, I guess, a national program. Things are going well. You've got the world champion.
And it's just amazing how long Nadal's gone on for, hasn't it? Because I remember there was concern all of about 5 years ago who was the next Nadal, or who at least was the next David Ferrer. That's a great stop volley from Team. But yeah, that was the question, who was coming through. And I think for sort of 5 years there was a bit of concern, because if you think about the tennis players that you were mentioning inside the top 10, most of them are towards the back end of their career. But you have now got Alcaraz, and so maybe it's funny how it goes in cycles, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Nadal maybe in 4 years' time might be retiring, and Alcaraz will probably be looking to peak, and then they'll have all their attention on him. And maybe that will then bring all of other young Spaniards through.
Well, 5 of those top 10 of the Spanish players are 30 years of age plus.
Yeah.
But again, on the tour, oh, that's a handy return. I know that 30 years of age, between 30 35, it's kind of the vogue age group now, isn't it, on the men's tour? But those guys have been around for a long time. Nadal, Bautista Agut, Ramos Vinolas, Feliciano Lopez is he's the oldest of them all, 39 years of age.
Velasco's still going, isn't he?
He's not quite there in the top 100, but he's still out there, having a crack.
Oh dear. There's a bold shot to go for, 30 all.
And maybe a difference. We've spoken so admirably of Anduhar when he's executed the droppers. He's inside the baseline. Dominic Thiem was dancing around trying to get a forehand. His weight was ultimately going back. He was behind the baseline. All those ingredients make up for the mistake.
Big miss. You consider there was a couple of misses in the first set, if you remember, on the break points from Anduhar. Just a little asterisk by that. Second serve.
Look, I love that he was trying to, again, force it. But early in the game, he actually had that same type of a return, and he won with it down the line. That time he redirected cross court.
diversifying the sport.
Avantage team.
Yeah, it began with the serve. Once he saw that Anduhar sent a one-handed return, there wasn't a lot on it. Team was able to control the flow.
Team.
Big hold to save the break point.
3 jeux partout.
Slight missed opportunity for Anduhar as it's 3-3 in this third set. Mark, now a couple of questions for you.
Yeah.
Out of 10, where would you say Team is with regards to 10 being the best tennis he's played in his career as to what we've seen today?
Today,
Yeah.
I would give him maybe a 5. I think what has been helpful for Dom entering today's match, yes, he's aware of the quality up the other end, but I think the bonus is that he's played him 3 times and he hasn't dropped a set, so I think he's somewhat comfortable. It's like, well, I'm not having to unleash my best just yet.
So where for you is the 50% that he can improve? Where's the areas that you think going forward after this match that he's got to step up?
I think this year what I've seen from Team is just the looseness. I'm used to seeing this Iron Man on the court, and when the bigger points are played, he will engage in, it's almost like whatever it takes, and if the point needs to go 25 hits, he's there. I haven't seen that too much with Team at key moments this year, which have contributed to some of these losses.
Oh, it's glorious. He's under some pressure around the half, but how smooth was that strike off the backhand side?
Yeah, Team hits that one with some power. The approach shot, well, doesn't really find a target. And have a look at Anduhar. He's under no stress here. I mean, that's almost like a drill for Anduhar. Thank you. I can thread that one up the line.
Oh, yes.
Finish.
Anduhar's raised his game, there's no doubt about that in this third session. He leads again, 4-3.
2, 1, 0.
So that's that one question, Mark, about Team.
Can I send some rackets to the streamer, please?
Where his level is. How happy do you think he would be with what he's produced today out of 10?
Oh, I don't think he'll be, you know, ecstatic, but I think this is how his season has unfolded anyway. And you know, are there areas that he can improve upon? I'm sure he's probably aware of it, but you know, through a 2-week event, I mean, it's really round by round, and I think he'd be happy if he could get through this match, maybe without dropping a set. I mean, Anduhar's not going to disappear, so we're going to have to see, you know, some more attention given to finish this match in 3 sets by Team.
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're back.
some rackets off to be restrung here, Anduhar. I'm sure whether this conversation is about that. Just sending that message to Dominik Thiem to say, yep, we're going to be here 5 sets. We're going to need 2-3 more extra rackets. COVID times, there's always a little bit of a discussion. You can't see at the far end. Now just throwing a racket up to someone. I'm not sure he knew the guy, but I think it has found its way to his coach. Timo serving here 3-4. Ended up getting himself in trouble there, Tim.
0-10.
So a point like that can just, you know, make you feel a little uneasy.
Rush like that, so suddenly a bit of trouble here in the fort. Three great points for Anduhar. Maybe that's a sign of team and the intensity. Last year, the year before that, these are the types of matches you feel he probably would have won in straight sets. Again, just unable to sustain the level. And Anduhar this time takes full advantage as he gets the break and will now serve for the third set. Faults have generally hurt Anduhar in this match. It's a sixth. This 2 sets, though, they've come in games where he has ended up being broken in. Generally struggled backing up the break, so whenever he's got the break, he played a bit of a scrappy game. This is not the start to a game that he would have wanted.
Well done. First serve coming down at 177 Ks. That's about the speed that he is going with. Made sure that he got around, hit the forehand, and was not frightened about trying to follow it up into net.
Stanley thought it was a racket change. It was a grip change. His coach would have thought 35 years old, on tour for a good part of sort of nearly 20 years. He would
learned
have learned how to grip it pretty well.
Maybe he ran out of time on the change of ends. Too busy throwing those nuts down.
He needs to look at Richard Gasquet for some tips. Yes. Just pulled that one and a lifeline for team. This third set. Tennis from Anduhar. Took his time, picked his spot, and hit the balls out.
Just laying out a game plan there was Anduhar, hovering around the ad court, looking for the forehand. Puts it away nicely on the overhead. Good footwork too by the Spaniard, making sure he was under that overhead.
Avantage Andorra.
Set point. From the 68.
Let's. Premier set.
So broadcasters, if this set finishes here, we'll show you 3 match points. There's the third one now, Wayne Keller as well. So we'll do
searching for tour level win. He's also looking for first win from 2 sets to London. Wouldn't this be the time to do it? He's got one of those sets back as he extends this first round encounter. Anduhar taking the third set by 6 games to 3.
And lose commentary through to a wide shot. Q Wayne. Right, stand by. Q Wayne, marks up.
So Pablo Anduhar making
Silva.
something of a match of it then, giving Dominik Thiem plenty to think about now, just as he looked as to be cruising his way through to the
Silva.
next round.
Roll.
Keeping up to speed with what's going on elsewhere, the 23rd seed Karen Khachanov successfully through against Yuri Vesely of the Czech Republic in 3. Dominant performance to the expense of losing just 6 games.
Well, yeah. 3, 2, 1, and push.
And Petra Kvitova had a bit of a tough time of it, but eventually coming through in 3 after losing the first set to the Belgian Greet Minen. After a couple of tie-break exchanges, coming through 6-1 in the third. The 11th seed given a bit of a test in the first round by the Belgian.
3, 2, 1, push.
And a straight sets win as well for the Argentinian Guido
Stand by graphics, stand by
6-3, 7-6, 7-5, taking 2 hours and 45 minutes to see off the Colombian qualifier, Daniel Elahi Galan.
Stand by some bubble. 3, 2, 1, through we go. Bubble under, graphics in please.
So some results to keep you up to speed. Naomi Osaka going through eventually against Patricia Maria Thig of Romania, who gave her a testing time of it, but Osaka just had too much quality for the talented Romanian. And Dominik Thiem, 2 sets to 1 up against Pavla Andahar. Remember, Azarenka against Kuznetsova to come, and Tsitsipas against Shardy on Chatrier later.
And pause and bring in commentary on Chatrier, please. That's a nice clean in.
So let's rejoin the action then, the fourth set. Your commentary team is Pete Odgers and Mark Woodford.
Commentary there? Lose our microphone. Yeah, you've made it a microphone.
Because you missed the tournaments 2016 and 2017. Lose in the first round, 2018 through to 2020. Still hope for him here, though. Usually, Ronaldo, if the team goes 2 sets to love up, particularly early in the tournament, you kind of think the match is almost done and dusted. The case these days, Dominik Thiem. What's still to come, incidentally, on this court. Still 2 more matches to come, even though local time it's 4 p.m. Osaka getting the better of Teague in the first match of the day. 7-6, but 2 long sets there. We've had 3 sets that have nearly taken 3 hours here. So it's probably going to be a late finish on Chatrier. Following this one, we've got Victoria Azarenka against Svetlana Kuznetsova. And then after that, it'll be Stefanos Tsitsipas, the 5th seed. Many people's outside bet to perhaps lift a first ever Grand Slam title for the Greek. Let's reach a first final. He's up against Shardy, who's had a good year, the Frenchman. No doubt have the support of the home crowd. First things first, Dominik Thiem will be hoping to get off the court relatively soon. Try and close this match out in 4. Today, Mark, is it all about getting the win for Dominik Thiem? And with that, will the confidence come, or is he thinking, actually, I want my performance to be high?
It's a good question. I would think he'd be happy to get off of the court now, get the win, 4 sets. It hasn't been a high-quality match so far. It's been quite a dogged fight. But I think at this stage, to get that victory and be satisfied, and make a reassessment, sit down with Masu, maybe focus on maybe one area that to work on for the next match. If he does get through, and still give him the strong favourite role in this match. But I really thought perhaps that the power of Thiem might have shone through in this match. We've just seen glimpses of it, and perhaps in Thiem's view, he might want to, save a little bit of it if he's worried about the physicalness of what it's going to take to be alive in the second week here, trying to conserve the energy.
Still searching for that power that I've watched him in or so. Still think there's levels he can go to, and maybe that will come with matches. Talking of matches, winner of this encounter will face either Radu Albot or Federico Del Bonis. Del Bonis has played some good stuff of late, so that might be quite a tricky encounter. Albot's a good fighter as well. section of the draw that the team is in. Possible third round opponent, Fanini, maybe Fucsovics. Yeah, a winner earlier on today, and Fucsovics is a couple of games away, you would think, from victory over Gilles Simon. If you extend the draw out further, fourth round opponent likely to be Casper Ruud when you consider the year that he's had. So that will be very tough in the last 16 if he's to get there. Way to start this fourth set for the Austrian. Often Mark coming into tournaments, like to do something called power rankings. Anyway, you follow your NFL or anything like that. We often do power rankings to say, right, who's the favourite, who's on the list for winning. Where would you list Dominik Thiem for winning the title here? What spot would he be in?
Well, maybe not as high as what other Roland Garroses. I think it has, since that fantastic first victory for him at the US Open, I think it's taken its toll. The start to the year as well, it's not conducive for him. I think it's affected a ton of players. We certainly haven't felt like that we've seen the best version of Dominik Thiem in the build-up to this year's Roland Garros. We may get to see the best of Dominik Thiem. Obviously, he's got to keep winning, hit the matches and get some reps, but maybe not quite as high as you mentioned. Tsitsipas is coming up later on. Oh, just out of the reach of Thiem was Andujar's volley.
So I'm going to imagine that you put Nadal and Djokovic ahead. Are you putting Tsitsipas ahead as well? And then is there any others?
I certainly putting, for me, my opinion, Tsitsipas above Thiem.
Yeah.
Just behind, slotted in behind Nadal and Djokovic, yes.
So for number 4, you would have him on the power rankings right now.
And I would maybe throw
out of interest, but yeah.
Someone like a Zverev up there. You know, I'm not sure that I would have firmly Thiem as number 4.
Yeah, but I think I have him probably even behind the likes of Ruud and Zverev. Myself, probably around 7th, being truthful. Right now. Not to say he can't get going. He's raised his level. Start of this fourth set. Encouragement again from Masoud. There's a couple of break points here for the world number 4.
And these are the points he's got to remember to keep the foot on the accelerator. Not saying for any stage that he's expecting Andujar to give the point, but you know, he's not going to win it freely. He's got to work for this break. And then of course the hard work isn't over and done with. He's got to consolidate the break. Opportunity now with a second serve. Yeah, that's a fabulous way of erasing one break opportunity.
Still one remaining. too good again from Andrade. Hanging tough once more.
Yeah, it is. Very well played, but this backhand just is down the middle of the court. There's nothing really on it. But a positive response from the Spaniard. I almost feel like if team is going to play that backhand slice, Pete, maybe just get it out the middle of the court and go down the line.
Got there, just couldn't quite make it. Strange match there, hasn't it, in a way. The first set was full of quality. And after that, it's been a little topsy-turvy, really. We've seen patches of quality from both players. Feels like it's gone up another notch here. Start of this fourth set. Big tennis from team. Ripping through a couple of balls there from the back of the court.
Yeah, that was struck with some affirmation. Easy put away. Remember last year, Pete, we called the match. I think Dominic played Hugo Gaston. And, that went for a lengthy five set, I believe.
Yeah.
And then he had to back around and play Schwartzman. Ends up going down, and that was a 5-hour, 5-set match as well. Always, through those couple of matches, teams' legs were giving out. There just wasn't enough in them to power through.
That's an outstanding pickup from Andrade. It was awkward, but he got the touch on it to make the next ball tough for team.
Clever, just to nudge that one back over. You have to have a loose wrist and fingertips as well. But I just feel like that team is like his legs aren't there yet. He doesn't have his clay court legs.
I think his lungs will be there with how hard he works off the court. He's a lot fresher this year than he is last year. That goes without saying. But I agree with you with regards to there's something lacking, and I think punching through opponents that we've seen in the past just hasn't been able to do that this year. As in, I mentioned, for me, his most impressive win this year was on the clay against Vucevic. That's that he turned around. But even there, that was more about the heart and the desire than perhaps the power. We've seen from team in recent months is in not only how much does it take out of a player reaching their career goal, but also the run that he went on and how much he put into it and how much that does take. But it also shows you what freaks Djokovic and Nadal and Federer are, that the fact that they can do it week after week, year after year. Did really well to come through that game. He's got his level back. There was a dip, no doubt. Certainly in set 2. He's right back on it now, and this is a real tussle, this first round encounter. And when I talk about what team did over, for me, 2018, 2019, particularly 2019 and 2020, he was with Nadal and Djokovic. He was reaching Grand Slam finals, he was beating them in slams. First to do that for me out of all of the chasing pack that have come and gone over the many years that Nadal and Djokovic and Federer have dominated. Other than Andy Murray, of course. Murray's never part of the chasing pack. Fine return from Andujar. Look at that, that's a worrying stat for team, isn't it? Winning just 34% of the points behind the second serve. And again, maybe when you talk about legs and push up on the second serve, quite there.
It was a little different from the first set and a half, where first and second serve win percentage was strong.
Yeah, Andujar able to get on top of that second serve. These are worrying times now all of a sudden for the fourth seed. He's got him. A terrific backhand that made the volley tough. And Andujar with 3 break points early on in this fourth set.
Andujar's chance to really stick his chest out, momentum in his side of the court.
Pulled that one wide. Would you believe it? It's Andujar who breaks first in the fourth set. A shrug from the Dominik team. Could we be going the distance on day one?
Break.
On Chatrier, Andujar leading 2-1.
2-1, and break.
Doesn't look like a player right now, Mark, that's never come from 2 sets to love down. Andujar.
No, well, there's still a bit of tennis to play before we get to that 5th set, and the match clock 3 hours. But a positive vibe for the Spaniard right now to survive that 15-40 service game. Taking the opportunity as well, when those short balls were there, he stepped up, he didn't go further back behind the baseline, he actually stepped into the ball, followed a couple into the net, took time away from Dominik's team, and
5 seconds.
as we saw on that final point,
3,
the team after
2,
making
1,
I think a forehand mistake wide, just, you know, his hands are kind of like, you know, what on earth do I have to do? You know, what's going on here?
Back up the break with new balls. His team tumbling down that power rankings list at the moment.
He'll remain steady on the, for the moment. I even think of that last miss off the forehand wing. He just never got to the flight of the ball. He wasn't balanced, and that to me is like there's no legs, or there's the power to shuffle up to the flight of the ball.
Just get behind team here. As I said, such a popular player with everything he's shown over the years. Roland Garros. That's better from the Austrian. He's taking his anger out on the ball.
All together.
Well, a bit of a struggle right now there for the world number 4. I don't want to be too sensationalist here, Mark, but is there a chance with Dominic Thiem that he could walk away from the sport early? Just in terms of, he's now got a new girlfriend, he's quite happy off the court, he's achieved his lifetime goal, but not only that, he knows the insane amount of work it requires and how much it takes out of you to get to that level. So is there a chance he could go, actually, I'm not sure I'm ready to do that again? I'm not saying it's going to happen, but is there a chance?
28 years of age, I feel like again it's vogue to be 30 plus years of age, and the longevity in our sport. Has certainly lengthened. I guess there is a possibility, and yes, you're right, the amount of work already under the hood of Dominic Thiem. I mean, the engine there, it takes a lot out of look, anyone. He has, over the years, accumulated so much legwork, put in the legwork to arrive where he stands in the tennis world today.
Just from a neutral point of view, get back to the level that he was, because he was masterful in the last couple of years. He's been an absolute delight to watch in terms of what he's produced. It's been incredible.
Well, probably as well, I think early on, we all assessed him as really just a clay court player. The first slam that he would win, I think there was a affirmation that he would win Roland Garros. It's going to be, maybe a couple of victories here, but the way it's turned out, winning on hard courts, he's turned into a fine player on that surface.
Towards his coaching team. A look of concern. Got the forehand he would have wanted. Just unable to convert. It's a 40th forced error for Thiem. the right way to move. Got the forehand right. Does back up the break for a 3-1 lead.
A fantastic anticipation from Anduhar. It was a quality return of serve. The team just comes in and with not enough time to just load up onto that right leg, he commits to the forehand, and it's where Anduhar is standing. Just zips past team's racket.
The right way again, Anduhar. Team seemed to read where to go in his approach.
Yeah, certainly when he arrives at net, he's not in position. He doesn't have that time to take a balancing or a prop step and then go out to the volley. It's like he's still in the process of getting inside or around that service line, and the ball's already onto him. There's another rushed type of a shot. That's a mistake. And then compounds with the head shake, very negative body language. It sounded like he was saying, I don't know. He's looking up to his team.
Away with it. Again, it was a bold shot to go for. Drop shot at break point down. Hanging on somewhat in this set team. Who incidentally, I will remind you all that he was 2 sets to love up here. His record, when 2 sets to love up, 50 wins, 1 loss. For Dominic team. That coming against Juan Martin Del Potro in 2017 at the US Open. So, the fact that Anduhar had never come from 2 sets to love down. Teams only lost the match once from 2 sets to love up. Everything pointing in the Austrians' direction. It's the beauty of this sport. You still never know.
Certainly some heavy striking from the Austrians' end of the court, but each time it was absorbed by Anduhar. Handy backhand winner cross court, draws it back to Deuce.
Go on in the game. You feel the longer it goes on, the more pivotal it becomes with regards to the context of this match, especially this fourth set. Closer to the baseline on the service line.
An opportunity for a double break here, Anduhar.
Austrian tennis fans might have had their hearts in their mouth there when he let the ball drop on the drive volley. But he did enough.
Anduhar, from the moment that he made the return, he just couldn't get into the rally. He was always retrieving, going left and right, and just barely got up to the approach shot by Dominik Thiem. An easy put away for the Austrian. Look, I love the fact that Anduhar is taking the returns early. He's putting it back quickly into Thiem. I just feel like it is not a quick enough reaction by the Austrian right now.
And he's missed that backhand, so Anduhar does get the double break lead in this fourth set. Now it's a mountain to climb for Thiem.
3, 2,
4-1.
1. Seconds.
Reprise.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and
3,016 minutes this match has been going for. Dominik Thiem, at the moment, looks like he's staring down the barrel of what would be a fifth set in a few moments' time. A double breakdown in this fourth set. And we've been talking, I mean, you mentioned it there in terms of his reactions being slightly slow. It just feels everything slightly off. I mentioned earlier his movement going back behind isn't quite as sharp as what it was before. it just feels the levels aren't quite there in quite a lot of areas.
Yeah. I think back to when you know you feel good out there on the court, whether no matter the surface, but the earlier that you arrive at the point of contact, there are options available, whether it's the power, spin, direction. I just get the feeling that Dominic's not quite there. He's arriving a little late on the ball, so he's quite limited with his shot selection. And then he's reverting to trying to power through the ball. The anticipation of Anduhar has certainly been he's excelling.
So what does he do here, Mark? What would you do, knowing that he's perhaps lacking a bit of punch and intensity? How should he manage his game from now on?
Well, for now, he still has the advantage that even though the momentum is against him, he's had a 2-sets-to-love lead, and in the back of his mind, hopefully, is resonating, no, I am an Iron Man. These are the moments that I've shone through for years if he goes to a 5th set. Certainly going to take a bit out of Anduhar's game as well, having to fight back from a 2-set-to-love deficit.
Points one, exactly even. This match very much in the balance.
All together.
Chance for the team to get one of the two breaks back. From team, and he does indeed get one of the two breaks back. That's been an Achilles heel for Anduhar all of this match, backing up the breaks. And once again, having broken team, he's broken back straight away.
Seems a bit more settled on that final forehand. You can see the ball, it's rotating, it's coming off of its trajectory. Team sending it back with some angle.
It's beautifully done. Incidentally, mention the fact that he's never come back from 2-sets-to-love down. In the 23 times he's lost the first 2 sets, only once has he taken a match the distance. He's in a good position here, especially with more shots like this. Finds the line. was okay.
You can see Anduharu takes that pop in, and even though it gets up around shoulder height, up to team's end of the court. Just stumbling there. It's
just wondering whether he caught the line, whether he slid a little on the line.
Just lost a bit of traction, huh?
A bit of a shock. It's okay here, team. Forehand.
With the Spaniard, again, he was pushed way behind the baseline, eventually taking enough off a couple of shots, allowing him to work back into the baseline, and now presented with a break opportunity.
So short in the box. It's funny, isn't it? The patterns of tennis matches, it's suddenly become hard for either player to hold serve. Too dissimilar on the break points converted. 13 to 5 from 15.
Tip.
Finds the line just, team. Battling service hold from the Austrian, who's fighting back in this fourth set, reduces the deficit to just the one game.
2, 1, and take a break.
This is the point where team takes that stumble. See that he tries to accelerate off the mark. It was a handy serve. It jumped up onto Anduharu's two-hander backhand. That's the Austrian who closes the gap down, and will the second break of serve be enough for Anduharu? Led 4-1 in this fourth set. It's closed the gap to 4-3.
2, 1, and we're back.
Once before, has he taken a match to a fifth set? Lost the first two, Anduharu. To do it for the second time in his career. Looking to win from 2-0 down for the first time, and what would be a 150th tour win. That's the way to do it, wouldn't it be? Some way to get your 150.
Why not? I mean, he beat Roger Federer last week.
He finds the line there with that forehand, and even though he beat Roger Federer, he's still never been the top 5 player. So this would be a first today with that, because As much as we always think about Roger Federer as a top 5, of course he's now outside the world's top 5. Again, I'm sure when he tells his grandchildren, he won't mention
where he was ranked.
Yeah,
no.
where he's ranked.
No.
Skipping out the way of that ball, and forehand is on fire in this game.
Well, what helps is his court positioning. You see, after that return comes back, he's not retreating too far. And so the height of the ball, off the forehand wing, he goes for it up the line. Nicely done again.
It's the third round of Wimbledon before.
Quarante,
A bit of grass court action with the serve and volley.
Yeah, that ball just taking off, might have clipped the sideline. Good to see mixing it up with a serve and volley. We were talking earlier, Pete, rating Dominic Thiem, his level. What do you think Andujar? What do you think he's been at in this match?
It's tough to fully rate him, isn't it? I think if you just take out the laps that we saw in the second set, I think he's been pretty high. I think he's been around an 8. And it was only an up and down laps, wasn't it? That second set that we saw. I think he's still got a level to go in terms of it's an 8 rather than a 10. But it's still him playing very good tennis. Right on cue with playing very good tennis. Lovely, subtle, high backhand volley. And he closes out the game, and he is a game away from pushing us to a 5th set. I'm going to throw that same question back at you. What do you think with regards to Andujar?
Yeah, I would think he's around a 7 and an 8, and I don't think he's going to be too disappointed with his level. And those lapses, yes, come and go, but will the 7-8 number be enough to get him through the rest of the match?
I think it may well depend on whether it's an 8 or a 7 as well, mightn't it? In the 5th, if he can find the 8, then he's got a good chance. I think because since going 2 sets to love down, he's not done a lot wrong. I mean, there hasn't been many dips.
Well, he hasn't gone away. He hasn't
fallen away at all.
Surrendered. He's remained competitive. Great attitude.
To be aggressive with the second serve team, and something we were talking about statistically, has struggled with it in this set. It's won just 25% of the points behind the second serve, 32% overall in the match.
Pretty big second serve there, isn't it?
I just wonder whether he's made the adjustment. I mean, just talking about his statistics, that's 2 second serves he's really gone for. So maybe he's going to adjust. I don't know about you. I personally really like that tactic because you know, if you're losing 25%, or you're only winning 25% of the points, you may as well risk a double fault and put a bit more on it. That's a rocket of a backhand, slightly short return, pounced on by the world number 4.
It's almost like one of the trademark shots, isn't it? We've seen of the Austrian. Much more balanced. There was that step into the ball, the weight, his shoulders leaning over the backhand. Great follow through.
Well, that's the question of Anduhar, as to whether the Spaniard can serve out this 4th set.
Anduhar
leads 5-4.
2, 1. Take a break. 1 minute.
Thank you.
It's all right. Oh, some nuts or raisins, dates. Not sure what that bar was for the team, but get some energy into the system. There's been a number of unforced errors from the Austrian, 46 in total.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're back.
He did have a double break lead in this set, Pablo Anduhar. Lead has been cut. As he comes out, there's a fair amount of pressure on his shoulders. Starting to try and take us into a deciding 5th set. 5-4.
And always at the first point. So it sets up a good feeling, good vibe for the rest of the game. That's a handy first point, not having to play another ball. It was one of those backhand slices of team that had a bit more on it, a bit more bite. Extracted the error from Anduhar.
The line. Didn't hold back, team.
The return was heavy, wasn't it, Pete? A lot of rotation. It certainly got Anduhar off the court, opened a little corridor, but he had to hit the line to win the point. Beauty. Nice way of going about it there, Pablo Anduhar. Under a lot of pressure. That serve, not one of his fastest, but he gets the ability, the chance, an opportunity to play the forehand and still goes for it.
3 hours and 37 minutes on the clock. An드하르 hoping that that will be extended somewhat further. Set point to take us into a decider. Team just saying not so quick. I'm still alive in this set.
So pressure again mounting, just building up here. Choices for Anduhar here as he go down the middle with this serve to the team backhand.
Trying to pepper the backhand, but just pulls his own backhand a fraction too much. There's a lifeline for the Austrian.
So choices for team here. Does he rely that playing an opponent who loves clay? Is this serve going to come out to the backhand side with just a heavy kick? Oh, well, there's the response. And maybe Anduhar is aware that team was waiting for that one and slides it down the tee.
Do you want to play this guy at poker? It was a good bluff, wasn't it?
It certainly was. I almost felt like that ball toss was kind of alluding to the kicker. Oh, that's 3 points in this game. 3 first serves that he's landed, and team has missed the return.
It's a second set point for Anduhar. Well, he beat Roger Federer a week and a half ago. Now he's a set away from adding Dominic Thiem to that list. We are going the distance. Takes the fourth set, 6-4.
Christina ready in silver in 5, 4, 2, 1.
Just taking you around the other courts, Vesnina against Gortseva, the Russian Elena Vesnina, comfortably through to the loss of just one game in under an hour. 6-1, 6-love for Elena Vesnina against Olga Gavotsova of Belarus. The lucky loser, not so lucky this afternoon.
Order play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Just a reminder of what is still to come. Victoria Azarenka against Svetlana Kuznetsova, both double Grand Slam winners. Kuznetsova, a former winner here, up against the Belarusian who's had the better of her in their last few meetings. And then Stefanos Tsitsipas, the much fancied Greek, the 5th seed, up against the veteran Frenchman Jeremy Chardy. Already today, Naomi Osaka, the Japanese second seed, threw in 2 against Patricia Maria Thig of Romania. But what a match we have here on Chatre. Dominik Thiem, 2 sets up. Pablo Andujar, for only the second time in his career, coming back to level after being 2 sets down. It's going the distance. Will it be Thiem or will it be the Spaniard?
Become a thing in recent times. Everyone here has to wear a mask in and around the ground, sat on the courts. It's fantastic. We've got fans on court, Philippe Chatre, and they've been enjoying this titanic tussle. It's now right in the balance. Very tough to tell which way it's going to go. Of course, the momentum is with Andujar. One-set shootout for a place in round 2. Well, I say the momentum's with Andujar. Would you say that's the case, or would you say really it's actually in the balance because Thiem obviously did come back there and had a point for 5-all?
Yeah. If Andujar had cleared out and won the set and maintained that 2-service break, I'd say, look, the momentum's still there in the early stages of this final and 5th set, but because Thiem was able to just close the gap there, owned or saw briefly break-back opportunity, I think this is a little more balanced. And I think I'd still maybe leaning towards Thiem in this 5th set. And the fact that he's starting out serving first, in probably my time, when you serve first in the 5th set, that probably was a bit more of an advantage. I think some of the stats historically show that it's a bit more balanced.
I think it's even, yeah. It's almost bang on 50%. I think that was a couple of years ago, I remember that stat. But at the same time, I think if you said to all of the tour, would you like to serve first or second in the deciding set, almost all of them would say first.
And if you're talking to Dominik Thiem, if we had a little ability, a chance at a Q&A on the change of ends there, you happy that you're serving first and 5th? Betcha I am.
He's got to secure this first service game first. Just overcooked that one.
Zero
that had died down really for the last couple of sets has been the wind. Just as we were saying about the importance of serving first, this is not what Thiem would have wanted. 3 break points to Andujar. Particularly happy with the bounce there. Anduharu. Whether he'll get a better chance than that, though. At one of these break points. There is an early breaker serve for Anduharu. We kept saying it earlier on, stay in the present. That's what Anduharu's got to do here. Looking for a first ever top 5 win. A first ever comeback from 2-0 down. All for what will be a 150th career match win. It'll be the first time he's won an opening round here at Roland-Garros since 2015. There's a lot on the line, but that finish line is now just beginning to come into sight. You see just how even this contest has been.
I actually am shocked, you know, to be witnessing this right now. For if it was around the other way, that Anduharu had got out to a 2-0 lead and team slowly claws his way in, I could maybe go with it, but the reverse is happening here. I mean, it's just a crumbling of the number 4 seed.
Which is the worry of just where his confidence is at right now. And look, we're a long way away from this match being anywhere near the finish, Mark, but as in, if team was to lose, as in, where does he go? Does he just keep going? Does he need another break? What's the next step?
Has he had a break? Just looking back at his, you know, this season, the clay, he's been competitive.
Well, he elected, you know, not to play in Miami and to have a break basically after Dubai. To have a couple of months, just a bit of a pause and a reset, or at least it would have been a few weeks of not playing. So it was that early loss in Dubai to Lloyd Harris that sparked that. What would you do if you were in this?
Well, again, I'm not privy to what's happening behind closed doors, and obviously, you know, something is just not right in this camp.
Team struggles. His percentage plays, his level of tennis is so solid.
You're absolutely right. Anduharu has not, you know, deviated away from his style, his game plan. The intent has been there from the beginning. It's still there when he's had these chances. He hasn't played defensive. It's a different proposition, isn't it? He's had to play catch-up throughout this match, and he's now sitting at a mini break of serve. He's trying to consolidate. The finishing line is on the horizon, but getting over that finishing line is going to be a very different matter altogether for Anduharu.
The shout from team. He'll get himself going here. He'll fake it to make it. Might be feeling pretty low. The reserves may even be low as well. He and the crowd trying to get himself going. Big push. If he was to turn this match around, then the sort of win that would give him a lot of confidence moving forward. Scrap out a match. And that's more like it from the world number 4.
Oh, threading some shots together here, maximising the distance that the opponent has to travel. And look how he executes that backhand, Pete. Just on balance. And able to keep his head over the ball. Have a look at that. That is the Dominik team that we're used to seeing.
Intensity point. Now heading with good length. Frustration beginning to get to T. Well watched. So that's a hard work. It's the second serve that he's returning. He makes sure that he got around and hit a heavy forehand. Got Anduhar retrieving and was able to work his way to net. Several overheads. Another break opportunity. Anduhar setting himself up as if he's going to throw this one out wide. For the bluff again. Let's see if team uses the footwork to get a forehand return here. Oh. Wow. Could that be through Anduhar. And a wonderful bit of improvisation from the Austrian as he breaks it straight back. And it's 1-1 in the 5th. Wow, that was the key there. I think it was the surprise of that shot. Lovely improvisation from the number 4 seed. And the forehand by Anduhar just didn't have any shape at all. It was almost the racket head went from high to low, and the trajectory went into the middle of the net. You can just sense certain moments, can't you? Particularly great champions. Started to really get behind team. He started to be a bit more vocal than that special shot. All of a sudden, it feels like he's got the wind in his sails. A couple of slaps across the face, yeah, you know. What's going on here? I've got to get something together, get it going. That comes along. It's just felt like that today. Hasn't quite built momentum for long when he has had it. To notice as well, team was on the stretch there. Get up to the net early. Volley that much easier.
Yes.
Look here. He thinks the ball's long. This will be frustrating for team because Uzbekistan has taken a long time to come down and look at this, but he has confirmed it's caught the line, so not so frustrating for the Austrian. One-two punch from team. He gets his nose in front in this fifth set for the first time. Backs up the break for a 2-1 lead.
2-1, and take a break.
So have a look at this final point, Pete. Again, the backhand. How balanced the setup for team. Weight is being transferred through the ball. Not off balance at contact. And have a look at the positioning of Anduhar. Perhaps hoping the ball is going to come back to him cross court. And a bit of a shift that has happened, that burst of energy coming from the number 4 seeds at end of the court. Now to really right the ship in his favour, 2-1. How long will this burst continue?
This is something we've been saying, isn't it? The team has seemingly got a bit of momentum. It hasn't lasted for long. You can almost say the same for Anduhar, despite the scoreline of one player winning 2 sets in a row and then the other in the next 2. Sets of a few twists and turns. Serving 1-2 in the fifth. Big gust of wind, and you've got to say the team did very well there just to keep the ball in play and tick into the 5th hour of this marathon encounter.
Yeah, I think for a moment, the team felt that his backhand wasn't going to climb up over the net. And it was a bit of an out from Anduhar. second serve.
You can see the frustration from team because those are the sort of points, you know, he's got the momentum, it's love 15, it's a second serve. Wind the clock back a year. Conditions, but you know, you wind the clock back a year. I know COVID, so we're in lockdown, but a year and a half or so, and you know, the intensity of his game and how he goes about his business. There's no way it's a cheap point from team. It's an error that he just hasn't made for years. In truth, he's been such a good match player. A little lucky there. Caught that one late. So the wind has picked up. But I suppose that's the most galling thing for him in terms of the match play not being there. You know, he almost used to be able to do it in his sleep. You know, he knew what to do at what point. You don't see those sort of errors on vital points.
This is a bit more of the team that I think a lot of players fear. Able to recover out of the corners. Still had enough zip in those legs to set up for that backhand. And it passed to Andujar. Nothing wrong with the quality of Andujar in that point.
Another second serve misreturn from the team. Andujar looks pretty short. Confirmed by Renard Liechtenstein.
It's those types of points, just when you think the momentum is continuing on in the Austrians' favour, that can put a stop to the momentum. Missing a second serve return.
Avantage Andorra.
A difficult condition, but then the wind suddenly picked up. But that is a gutsy hold from Pablo Andujar under real pressure early on in the game in particular. Just when he felt fourth seed had the momentum, Andujar is able to hold, and it's 2-all.
0-0.
His turn to have the momentum.
0-3.
Still go back to that missed return on the second serve by team. We often highlight that some of the inexperienced players at this level make a mistake like that, that they let it bother them. They carry it for a couple more games and have to play from behind. It's almost like that's how team is. He got irate with himself after missing the return, and now all of these quick errors facing triple break point.
Which way this match is going to turn next.
A few more fluctuations, you think?
I think so. Consider it would be by ranking the biggest win of An드하르's life. Although he was so good closing out the match against Roger Federer, maybe he won't get tight. He gets closer to the finish line. Again. It's the Spaniard who moves in front once again in this fifth set. Leads 3-2.
2, 1, and break.
Well, here's this break point, and it's the second serve gets a little action off the court, but An드하르 again just absorbing the pace. Maybe it was directed into the body, it didn't quite find its target, but he's leaning on the ball and it's sent back very quickly. No reaction from the team. There's probably one person who's just nodding his head right now in the tennis world, and that's Roger Federer going, you thought that was a really poor loss by me? What does this say to you all now?
I'll tell you as well, whoever wins out of Elbonis will probably be nodding their head as well, saying, yeah, keep going. Let's go for another hour. Yeah.
Not come on, An드하르.
Probably that as well.
4, 3.
Although the level of tennis he's produced today, it's been decent, hasn't it?
Well, let's think about the time. 4 hours, will he have enough to get over the line, An드하르?
"35 years of age, Pablo Andujar got his biggest win of his life with regards to the name of the player he beat about a week and a half ago, defeating Roger Federer in his homeland as well of Geneva. He beat Dominik Thiem on a court that he has loved. Best win by ranking. Say good things come to those who wait. 4 hours and 12 minutes on the clock. Hasn't shown signs of fatigue yet, the Spaniard.
42-0.
Flashes that one away, and what a service hold that is from Pablo Anduhar. This time backs up the break to love, and that's something he's struggled to do all through this match in terms of backing up the break, but that was emphatic from the world number 68. And we talked about seeing the finish line, and now he's 2 games away from what would be a humongous victory here on Chatrier on day 1 of Roland-Garros. Against the wall for team.
There's probably certain junctures of this match that you know, we could pinpoint, but I refer back to that 2-all. And I think 2-1.
Yeah,
when he had the break point.
But not only that, there was 2 missed second serve returns
in
that game.
Yeah,
and because I think 1, and then it confounded it with another.
Yes. And since then, it's been it's like it's just rubbed salt into the wound, and a lot of these points are starting to now be played with some quickness, maybe 3 or 4 hits.
That's where at the time I was saying about it's the sort of thing you just never saw from Dominic Thiem. 1 missed return on a second serve on such a big point, and then to see it do it twice in a game, I think that's what it tells you where his mind is at.
Yeah. And he could push the reset button and
he's
searching for the reset button right now.
But he's also searching just for that base level, the base match playing level. It shows you sort of how far away he is. You never know though when it will click into gear for these elite players. Still time in this match for it to click into gear. The team. Otherwise just having a look at the ball, but it has caught the line. It's a good game for Thiem. To just the 1 break, hanging in there.
5 seconds.
While leading though 4-3.
2, 1, 0.
Please.
10 seconds. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Wonder what's going through the mind of Anduhar right now. What do you think is, Mark, going through his mind? Is it simply next point?
Well, I think trying to stay in the presence and also recognise the way that he has played in this match, which is not back away. When the ball has been short, he's been trying to get the ball back quickly over to teams side of the court. Like there, after that first serve, he remained close to the baseline. Two first serves in the opening 2 points. Just create that buffer. But now comes an important moment just right now for this next point. If he can get out to 40 love, it's almost like that game is his. Again, this is just a poor choice of shot by team. If he'd gone in the off direction, he still could have remained in the point. But he was no chance with the anticipation of the Spaniard. Not a bad point though for Andujar. Went out after that forehand. He's got a bit of freedom, flexibility, or buffer, I should say. Still at 40-15.
Buffer though getting smaller by the second. To predict where the serve is going, team. A game away. One of the biggest wins of his career. A couple of weeks it will be if he is able to get the job done. Team serving to stay in the match. 3-5.
Haven't seen that play often enough today, Pete. The team serving to the ad court. Think of over the years that we've seen him play matches here, that he would throw that heavy kick out wide, and if it came to the backhand, threaded up the line. If it was a forehand, he'd still blast a win shot. Still been an issue. 14. Seeing it. 7th double fault. Which after 4 hours and 22 minutes isn't that big, but it's only won 34% of points behind the second serve today. He needs to find
Has to ask the question here. Has to force his opponent to at least try and serve this match out. Does do that. Dominik Thiem still alive for now in this first round encounter at 롤랑가로스.
Number break in 5.
Anduhar leads 5-4.
2. 0.
Oh, please.
10 seconds.
There's been a dramatic encounter. Said it a few times, it's fantastic to have fans on court for the Chatrier. Every single one of the 1,000 that are allowed in are here to witness Pablo Anduhar to try and serve this match out. The start he would have wanted. Reminded that there will be no tiebreaker in the 5th set in Paris. No 4 hours and 25 on the clock. It can be a long, long way left.
Yeah. Certainly a lot of fans in Austria hoping this match can be extended.
Oh, what a pickup it was. Anduhar digging in and somehow finding the goods.
Well, was this a little bit of nonchalance from the team to be able to not get up to that ball? It wasn't overly deep, but he just trying to nudge it in front of Anduhar. But wow, outstretched forehand volley into the open court.
Points away.
Halt again.
And just taking a bit of time here, Anduhar to reset.
He's not had a warning, incidentally. He's been close to the 25-second rule. So if he needs to, he can use one of those. That might help him.
Conclusion of this match, we have a Hawkeye analysis on the Anduhar second serve return placement and the second serve hit point, followed by a draw. This is after the time for an interview. That's followed by a draw, and then we're going to go and show you match points, which will be Vucevic.
And the apologies for the net call. In truth, there wasn't a lot of luck about the point. Again, playing with real intensity and ambition, as he has done throughout, Pablo Anduhar. And it is 2 match points for the world number 68.
win the walk-on for the championship. Yeah.
What a way to
네, 마지막 언더.
150th
서머서즈
It's one of the biggest victories of Pablo Andujar's career. He's come from 2 sets to love down for the first time in his career to take down someone who is ranked inside the world's top 5 for the first time in his career. He backs up the win against Roger Federer a couple of weeks ago with a victory over Dominik Thiem. That was special as he wins in 5 sets, 6-4 in the 5th after 4 hours and 28 minutes. Quite astounding, and you have to say, Mark, deserved.
Without a doubt, it was deserved. He never disappeared. You know, you look up at the scoreboard, it was 2 sets to love. It was going according to plan and I guess to form, to ranking, but he never disappeared. Such a great professional attitude, and but he never deviated away from a game plan either. He kept up, going for the shots, and he was moving Thiem side to side, keeping him guessing, and certainly when he was facing a lot of the key moment for me came in that 5th set, break point opportunity, and Thiem just dropped the ball completely, missing the return of serve, and it changed again in the favour of Andujar. Brilliant to watch, and having seen that, well, you know, Roger Federer, you might be in some good form because you've been beaten by one of the informed clay court players.
But as for Dominik Thiem, where does he go from here, Mark? Where does Thiem go?
Well, I think he might be heading back to Vienna tonight quickly and maybe making a reassessment of how the rest of the grass court season is going to unfold. You know, I think he's got to answer a few questions there. It just seemed like that he has not got enough reps, you know, under the bonnet right now to be playing the level as what we certainly have seen him and expect of a top 5 player.
First time he's ever